Hi everybody, it is Julie. Welcome back to Pages and Pens. Today I am here with a long-awaited follow-up to a series that I had started a long time ago that I never followed through on, that you guys loved. We are back for another one of my anti-hauls. Let's jump into it. So if you do not know, an anti-haul is something that was really big on the beauty community side of YouTube that I used to participate in. I do have a beauty channel. I have not updated it or touched it in months. Anti-hauls on the beauty channel communities got really popular to just try to cut back on the consumerism that takes place within the makeup industry, because it is all consumerism over there. It's all pushing products and you need, and you need, and you need. And I realized as I was looking at BookTube that there's a lot of the same kind of mentality over here of, this is the new release, this is the new favorite 5-star book, this is the arc that everybody got that they absolutely loved, you have to pre-order this, you need to have this as soon as it comes out, you need access to this ASAP. I still am guilty of this. I still pre-order a ton of books. I get arcs that I love, I pre-order them signed, I make sure that I get special editions. I fall for all of it, guys. So what I'm getting at is that a lot of the times those special editions and those pre-orders sit on my shelves. They don't get read for forever because I have TBRs and a ton of other books to read, and they sit. So did I need to order it right away, or could I wait until it was discounted a little bit? Did I need to order the special edition if I don't even know if I love it? Did I need to pay the extra to have it signed and personalized if I'm not really sure how I feel about the series yet? All of these are questions that come into how you choose to spend your money on books. And by all means, how you choose to spend your money on books is completely valid and absolutely fine. These are my thoughts on books that I will not be immediately purchasing or pre-ordering. These are things that I want to wait and either see what other people think about before I decide to buy them, get from my library, or I just know I'm probably going to pass on and not read for XYZ reason, which we will talk about. I'm not telling you not to buy these books. I'm not telling you that the authors are not good. I'm not telling you that the authors don't deserve your financial support. In my prior video, a lot of you really appreciated these because you got to hear from me what I'm not necessarily interested in and why, and also why you may be. So the reasons that these books don't work for me might be exactly why they work for you. They might be words that kind of turn me off of books, but are your like trigger words for what you know you love in books. So that's all I'm doing. It's the opposite of like a hype train of, here's all the releases I'm really excited for that convince you to go spend your money. Here's me stepping back a little bit and saying, here's where I'm going to be a little bit more careful and a little bit more cautious about my money. As somebody who is a writer and is an aspiring author, I'm never going to tell you not to go and support authors by buying their books. I'm not trying to knock an author's work. I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings. I'm simply saying, for me as a consumer, because I am still a consumer, here's the things that I'm going to just pause on, not immediately run out to buy or pre-order, and my personal reasonings, and then you make whatever decisions you want. Right? I think we're all adults. We get that here, right? Awesome. So I'm going to try to do this every few months. So this is going to be all of the releases for May and June that I'm personally anti-hauling, aka not buying. I think a couple of these might have already come out by the time you see this. At the time of filming, they haven't. There are a lot of early May releases, so a couple of these might be earlier May releases. I have everything up in Goodreads forms in front of me so that I have all the information for you. And the first one is going to be one that I believe comes out tomorrow as I film this on May 7th. It is The Farm by Joanne Ramos, I believe. And this one is like a dystopian about gestational farming of women. So you go and for 9 months while you're pregnant, you can get everything you want. You're spoiled and you don't have to do anything and you get paid and it's fantastic. But you are a surrogate mother for this breeding program. I have no interest in that. I know it's very closely linked to or associated with The Handmaid's Tale, which I have not read or not seen. I don't have any interest in kind of watching women be used as incubators. It doesn't do anything for me. There's a ton of people who really love these stories. I mean, by all means, The Handmaid's Tale is massively successful. So if you're looking for more in that realm, you may love this book. Personally, it's going to be a pass just because it's not my kind of story. So that's the first one. Also on the 7th is Romanoff by Nadine Brandes, or Brandes, Brands. Names, people. This one is a pass for me because it is a Romanoff retelling. You guys know I'm not huge on retellings. The Romanoffs are really interesting to me, but if I get a hankering for the Romanoffs, I go directly to Anastasia, the movie. It's not a Disney movie. I don't know who made it, but it is phenomenal. It's amazing. Has one of my all-time favorite characters in Bartok, and then I kick her, Sarah. Amazing. I love it, and that's all I kind of need out of the Romanovs. The cover is stunning. Stunning. But I just don't think it's my story. So if you're into the Romanovs, if you're into that whole storyline and retellings, you're going to probably love this. If you just want a gorgeous book for your shelves, it's also beautiful. Then we have The Dark Shores by Danielle L. Jensen. This one comes out also on the 7th, a lot of 7th releases, so these just came out. This one is just not my type of story. It is a pirate story. It's an ocean adventure story. They tend to just not jive with me. I like epic adventures, but I like epic, like, land adventures, if that makes any sense. You get me on an ocean and I don't know. Pirates are one of those words for me in books that I just go, nah, not doing it. Don't want it. High seas adventures, blackmail, meddling gods, and they meet in this first novel of a new YA series. There's meddlesome gods, treacherous oceans, and only the Marin possess the knowledge to cross the endless seas, but they have one mandate. East must never meet West. There's a pirate with a will of iron, a soldier with a secret, and a dangerous quest. By all means, if those things are gripping you, have at this book. For me personally, it's got some different things that I'm just not interested in. I also just feel like I've been a little bit more picky in my YA fantasy because I'm so YA fantasy overwrought right now. There's a lot coming out and there's a lot that I'm really excited for. So I'm just prioritizing, and for me, these like keywords and the synopsis don't vibe with what I want to be reading. Nothing wrong with it. Then we have one that a lot of people love, and that is There's Something About Sweetie by Sania Menon. I have not read Dimple Met Rishi. I have not read From Twinkle with Love, and I'm not going to read this one either. This one is getting a lot of hype because the main character is plus size. Apparently the plus size rep is really good, but in her first book, I know that the main character was just a teenager who was a little bit too angsty, kind of not the nicest person. I'm finding myself being really selective in my YA contemporaries in terms of what I want from main characters, and being kind of bratty, not it for me. Sorry guys, my battery overheated. So yeah, this one too seems like it's like a forced dating kind of a storyline. I just don't want to read it. I know that they're very well loved, so if that's your storyline, you really love her writing, then by all means. There's Something About Sweetie comes out on the 14th of May. Also on the 14th of May is The Stepsister, or just Stepsister, by Jennifer Connelly. This one is an evil stepsister retelling. Isabel should be blissfully happy. She's about to win the handsome prince, except Isabel isn't the beautiful girl who lost the glass slipper and captured the prince's heart. She's the ugly stepsister who cut off her toes to fit into Cinderella's shoe, which is now filling with blood. And the prince discovers her deception. Not for me. Fairy tale retellings, that's never gonna be like my keywords to definitely pick something up. The cover looks kind of neat. It has like the glass slipper kind of filling with glass or blood. Early ratings seem to be pretty high. Like it's sitting at a 4.21 on 198 ratings. So by all means, if this is your thing, you love the retellings, you wanted to know what this might look like from a different standpoint, then this might be your book. Then we have The Missing Season. This one comes out on the 21st of May, and this one is by Gillian French. This one is about a monster in the woods that eats children. There's been a lot of like monster in the woods stories lately, and some of them have been really well done, but they usually have a little bit more of like a fantasy element to them, aka The Devouring Grey or Saw Kill Girls. I've read a lot recently. I'm a little burnt out on the whole concept. So this one offhand didn't really appeal to me. I'll let you know a little bit about it though. Whenever a kid goes missing in October, the Pender kids know what is really behind it. A horrific monster out in the marshes that they have named the Mumbler. That's what Clara's new crew tells her when she moves to town. Bree and Sage, who take her under their wing, spirited Trace, who has taken the lead on this year's Halloween prank war, and a magnetic Kincaid, whose devil-may-care attitude and air of mystery are impossible for her to resist. But she doesn't actually believe in the Mumbler. But as Halloween gets closer, tensions build in the town, and it's hard to shake the feeling that there's really something dark and dangerous lurking in the shadows, waiting to bring stories to life. I mean, this one for me sounds incredibly similar to the New Kid in Town, Dark Woods, that the Devouring Grey and Saw Kill Girls have. I think I'm done with this one for right now. Even The Lost Coast by Amy Rose Capetta has kind of like the New Kid to Town, something's not quite right, and this might be phenomenal. I've just recently read too many of these stories, so I'm going to pass on this one. The last one for May comes out on May 28th, and that is The Wise and the Wicked by Rebecca Potos. And this one I'm going to pass on for really selfish reasons, but I've read one of Rebecca Potos' books before, and I did not like it at all. And then this one also just kind of doesn't feel like my thing. Ruby has been told stories since she was a child. The women in her family once possessed a great magical ability to remake lives and stave off death, but they were forced to flee their Russian home for America in order to escape fearful men who sought to destroy them. Such is the way it's always been for powerful women. Today these stories seem no more real to Ruby than the folk tales, except for the smallest bit of power left in their blood. When each of them comes of age, she will have a vision of who she will be when she dies, a destiny as inescapable as it is inevitable. But Ruby is no exception, neither is her mother, although she ran from her fate years ago, abandoning Ruby and her sisters. It's a fool's errand because they all know the truth. There's no escaping one's time. Russian folktale retellings, reimaginings, does seem like there's a little bit of a fantastical element to this, a little bit of fantasy light magical realism. I'm not interested because I just don't trust Rebecca's writing chops on this one, because I was let down by her prior book. I'm forgetting the name of it. The Weight of the Water, something with the water. It was like a group book for like the very first contemporary-a-thon. That's what it was. Yeah, we don't do group books anymore. I'll probably wait and see what the early feedback is on this before I give it a shot. The cover is stunning. The aesthetic of the cover are absolutely colors that I love and I'm drawn to, so I do want to know what people think about this one as it comes out and I get some more reviews. And like I said before, these may be things that I eventually pick up in audiobook or library book, or wait until it's on Book Outlet, or eventually pick up, but they're not things I'm going to be pre-ordering, paying full price for, or like jumping to add to a TBR and make room for. You guys get the gist. All right, now we are into June. So first up on June 1st is the Sarah Dessen book, the rest of the story. I just don't like Sarah Dessen. I'm sorry. And I have a couple on my shelves that I still need to read, but it's because everybody was talking about her when I joined BookTube and I went, oh, they're all on Book Outlet. I will buy all of them. And then I started reading them and went, oh, I don't like these. Emma does not remember a lot about her mother, who died when she was 10, which seems weird because by 10, you'd remember things about your mother. Her mother told her stories about a big lake that went on forever, cold, clear water, mossy trees. And then Emma and her dad, life is good, it's predictable until she's sent to spend summer with her mom's family, her grandmother and cousins that she hasn't seen since she was little. And then she arrives at the lake and realizes there's two different communities here. Her mother grew up in the working class. Her dad spent summers on the wealthier side. Not for me. If you're a Sarah Dessen lover, Sarah Dessen has a book coming out soon. Yay! But I'm not going to read it. The next book also comes out on the 4th of June, and that is Ordinary Girls. This one is by Blair Thornburr. I don't know. This one says it is perfect for fans of Jenny Han and Sarah Malinowski. I'm not a huge fan of either of them. I've read both of the books, some of their books. This is also a modern retelling of Sense and Sensibility. I think we have a theme here. I don't like retellings. I don't like retellings of classics. I've never read a lot of the classics, so a retelling of Sense and Sensibility when I have not read Sense and Sensibility doesn't really appeal to me. This follows two sisters, complete opposites, who discover the secrets that they've been keeping make them more alike than they realize. If you're interested in a classic retelling and you are a fan of Sarah Malinowski and Jenny Han, that might be 1000% up your alley. The cover's cute. Then we have another one whose comparisons have turned me off. I feel like comparisons to other authors or other stories can either be a real big help in picking books, but I also think they can really hurt books. Anyway, same day, it is on the 4th of June, and it is All Eyes on Us by Kit Frick. This is a Pretty Little Liars meets People Like Us. That it's a tense thriller about two teens who find their paths intertwined when an anonymous texter threatens to spill their secrets and uproot their lives. This is not something I'm a fan of. Pretty Little Liars is not something that I enjoyed reading or watching. I never watched it. I did read some of the books. And I don't really like the whole blackmail outing situation. Feels icky to me. Not a fan. I don't know. From the cover, it looks like it might be a blackmail and outing of a female-female relationship. It looks like there's a female-female kiss taking place on the cover. The daughter of a small-town social climber, Amanda, is deeply invested in her boyfriend, real estate heir Carter. He's kind and ambitious, the town's golden boy, but he's far from perfect because behind Amanda's back, he's also dating Rosalie. Rosalie is fighting to remain true to herself and her girlfriend while concealing her identity from her Christian fundamentalist parents. After spending years in and out of conversion therapy, her own safety is her top priority. Maintaining a fake straight relationship is killing her from the inside. And then somebody is blackmailing them. I don't want to read that. That doesn't seem like something that's fun for me. I have 2 more books to talk about. The next one is going to be a June 11th release, and it's a Jennifer L. Armentrout book. It is Storm and Fury. Jennifer L. Armentrout is an author whose writing I have almost entirely read. I have read her like Gargoyles series, the White Hot Kiss, White Hot something. I just finished the audiobooks of her Lux series. I read Jennifer L. Armentrout, but I'm never going to buy Jennifer L. Armentrout again. I can wait for the library. I can wait for audiobooks on Hoopla or through my library. I never 5-star or love her stories enough to want them on my shelves. Again, we've got Warden's Shape-Shifting Gargoyles, which seems like it harkens back to her White Hot Kiss kind of series. But this one is a first of a new series where we have demons and the gargoyles and supernatural wars unleashed. Looks like it may be a meshing of the old series of gargoyles with like a newer series that's kind of being reinvented. I'm not against reading this one. I'm not going to buy it, but I'm not against eventually reading this one. And then I think I just have this last one, which comes out on June 25th, and it is The Evil Queen by Jenna Showalter. I read First Life by Jenna Showalter and was not a fan, but this one is an Evil Queen retelling. So this one is evil isn't born, it's made. The one thought and action at a time. Take a good look at what you've made. Welcome to the forest of good and evil, a dream come true and a living nightmare. Far, far away in the realm of Enchantia, creatures of legend still exist. Magic is the norm and fairy tales are real, except fairy tales aren't based on myths and legends of past. They are prophecies of the future. Somebody born in the mortal realm has no idea that she's a real-life fairy tale princess until she manifests an ability to commune with mirrors. The synopsis goes on, but I have zero interest in that. And again, it's because I'm not a fan of retellings. Unfortunately, just not my thing. Unfortunate because they're everywhere now. So I'm going to go ahead and pass on this one. That's going to be it for my May and June releases. Believe me, if I told you the May and June releases that I am interested in, or that I do want to read, or that I do want to buy, the list would be insanely longer. But I do think that there is merit and benefit to knowing what I'm not interested in and why. And I think that it's perfectly healthy to take a step back from the consumerism that can sometimes overtake BookTube and realize you might be able to wait for the library, you might be able to wait for audiobooks on Hoopla, and you might be able to wait and just kind of see what the initial feedback is before you go and spend full price. Because a lot of these will be ending up on Book Outlet or some other discounted sites that you can just take your time with. This does not mean don't support authors. This does not mean don't support and buy books that you are passionate about. First week and pre-order sales are very important for authors, and for stories that I am passionately excited about, I have no problem paying full price. You guys have seen my shelves. You know I buy full price books, pre-order books, and support authors in all different ways. But these are just stories that I'm going to save my money on and wait and see how the initial feedback is, or just pass on because they're not for me. Not every book is for every reader. So that has been my anti-haul for May and June. I hope you guys have enjoyed it and you understand the message behind this. I will be doing another one for July and August, September and October. I've already started to research them. Do let me know down below what you're most excited for May and June. Am I totally missing the boat on one of these? Are you like super pumped for one of the books that I talked about? Definitely let me know down below. That's going to be it for this one. If you liked it, be sure to give me a big thumbs up. Honestly, on this one, give me a big thumbs down too. I'm pretty sure that YouTube rates them the same. Who knows anymore? So I'm not going to force you to give me a thumbs up. I'd love it if you did. Click that subscribe button again if you want more content from me. And I will see all of you in my next video. Bye, guys.